nights in the bantamweight Shark Tank, so no huge surprise that two of the top up-and-comers will collide tonight.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of things that people don't know about my life, you know, the way I grew up and everything. But
June 2025. UFC 317. Felipe Lima drops a decision to Peyton Talbot and walks out on a broken foot.
Yeah, I was 10 years undefeated.
Second time he's broken it. Only his third UFC fight. Everything came fast for this kid. Too fast.
Oktagon bantamweight champion Felipe Lima.
yeah, I know there's a lot of things that people don't know about my life, you know, the way I grew up and everything. But it's not easy. But I believe like when you have a passion for something that you do, and you love what you're doing, I think nobody can stop you, you know. Like, okay, I want to be UFC fighter one day, and I will be UFC fighter one day. That's what I want to do, and I put all my coins in that, you know.
Making the UFC at all shouldn't have been possible. Born in '98, deep in the Amazon.
When I moved to the capital, you know, but nobody knows how I used to live in the jungle. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why my nickname is Jungle Boy. Where I lived before, in the jungle, which don't have no electricity, you know, no refrigerator, no TV, nothing, you know. So we hunt every day, we fish every day, we eat what we catch, you know.
A day in his life looked nothing like a childhood. It looked like work.
We wake up in the morning, we go to the field, you know, pick up the potatoes, banana and stuff like that. We go leave the nets, you know, on the river for the fish and stuff like that. And picking up the cassavas.
And when the family needed meat, they went after wild pigs. Packs of them, 20, 50 deep. Felipe says that's where the wildness in him comes from.
Like we have the wildness, you know, inside of us. Because in the jungle, you gotta be wild, you know, like I remember when we hunt like the pigs and everything, you know, they come to catch you, man. Like the pigs are very dangerous, so you gotta kill them first before they kill you, you know. And also they got me like the whole full pack, like, and then we go up in the tree and we wait for them. When they come, you just from there, you know, all shooting and stuff like that. And after a couple dead, and then you scare them with the shotgun, you know, and then they run away. Yeah, so yeah, I was 10 years undefeated. I didn't know what to lose. What was the feeling, the taste of the loss, you know, for 10 years. And after this fight, it was a close fight. So yeah, I went to a dark place, to be honest with you.
His father was a fisherman, hunting, fishing. It ran in the family, generations deep.
So yeah, my father was a fisherman. He used to hunt. My whole family used to hunt. So pretty good times, man. Pretty good times. And yeah, nobody knows about that, you know. So I wish one day to go back and film all these things, you know, hunt and stuff like that. It would be fun to do it.
Around 9 or 10, the family starts splitting time with Kawari, a small village. Still jungle life, but his first taste of anything modern. His parents split around this time too. His mom raised him and his two brothers.
Life started getting like, you know, they have like cars there, they have motorcycle. I never seen before, so it's like very funny to see TV. Like, what the fuck? So, you know, hospital, like school and phone, everything like everything was new for me.
And this is where the kid starts fighting.
I was already like a problematic kid, you know. I had a problem all the time in the street. I was fighting all the time. You know, back then you didn't have knife or guns and everything. Back then it was just like bare knuckles. Well, I think the trouble that I had when I was a kid on the streets is like, you know, we have like small groups from the school and stuff like that. That guy doesn't like the other guy. It's just stupid, you know. And it's not for big reason, it's just for bullshit, you know. And I'm saying like the older guy say like we're small, and then the older guy say, listen, this guy, he cursed your mother, but the guy never did, you know. And then we get in a fight because of that. So stuff like that, you know. But and then after a while, I remember that, you know, drugs and everything, people start buying guns and stuff like that. They were start buying knives and stuff like that. So it was not more about like only just fighting. People were killing each other, you know. So that's when you gotta stop. Like, that's one of the time that I moved to Manaus as well.
A buddy kept dragging him to the gym. He blew it off for months, till the guy wouldn't take no. And day one didn't go how he pictured.
The first day in the gym, I stepped in the gym and then we sparred grappling. And this small kid, he was smaller than me, he beat me up, you know? And I was like, what the fuck is this, man? Like, this technique. And And that I want to learn. I said, oh, I want to learn this. So I got interest about it, you know. So and then I started training, and I fall in love with MMA. Since then, I never stopped. So yeah, since then I never stopped. Like training with them like for a couple of years and training everything: MMA, jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, kickboxing, judo, everything. So I was every day in the gym from morning until evening, you know. And that's how I got introduced to MMA. I remember that my mom always supported me, you know. She was, as long as I'm not on the street, I'm not doing bad things, she was happy about it, you know. So if she said that's what you like to do, be in the gym, just do it. She supported me a lot. And my father, he did the same thing as well. As long as you're not on the street, you get in trouble, he's all good.
13, he leaves home for Manaus. Bigger city, better coach. But hear what it cost him.
I trained in the morning. The first training was 7 in the morning with jiu-jitsu. And then I think I trained in Muay Thai at 9, something like that. And then I needed to go to school, which was on the other side of the city. I went to school, and then the school started like 12 p.m., you know, and then finish at 5. So I'll stay 5 hours at school, and then come back and train in the evening. Again. Sometimes I didn't have enough to eat, you know, because yeah, that's the way it is. But that was my normal routine, like every single day, you know, for a couple of years.
Gym was clear across the city, too far to commute. So a 13-year-old does what almost no kid does. He moves in.
I told my mom, listen, I'm not leaving home with you guys, I'm gonna go. Because it's too far away for me to train, you know. So I was forced to live in the gym, which was a good lesson as well for me. No, I didn't have a bed, I slept on the mat. Like, I used to sleep on the mat for years. Yeah. That time was only me. That time there was only me that slept in the gym.
Just him, on the floor, for years.
I finished school and then I'm like, I'm not gonna do university. Like, I don't wanna do something. I'm gonna just focus on my career now. So that's what I did. Yeah, it was a risk to take, but I never regret it. I love my job. Got some little bit of money. Then I started like rent a small room next to the gym, which is not perfect, but it's better. Yeah, so, you know, building up.
2015, 17, no amateur fights, and his first pro bouts against a guy who already had a record.
I was just turned 17 years old and I did my pro MMA fight, you know, just by training like a couple of years, you know, so.
He lost it, then basically didn't lose again for years. Won the Oktagon bantamweight belt off Jonas Magard in 2023. By the time the UFC comes looking, he's on a long win streak.
So it started growing my heart, you know, my passion started getting bigger for the MMA. Like, okay, I want to be UFC fighter one day, and I will be UFC fighter one day.
But it wasn't clean. His US visa gets denied. So, classic Felipe, he moves. 20 years old, no English, no Swedish, no friends, straight into a Stockholm winter.
Of course, it was tough in the beginning, like to get used. I didn't speak English, I didn't speak Swedish, I didn't have any friends, and it was tough in the beginning to experience like the cold, you know, the winter, the darkness. As a young kid, you know, it's pretty exciting because you're in another country. Everything's different, so it's pretty cool, you know. Like, it was very nice experience. But after a while, like it got me, you know. I started getting sad, depressed, missing my family and everything. So I want to go back home.
No safety net either. Just the same hustle from the jungle applied to a new country.
No, I didn't have money all the time, but you know, we don't speak about that. But you're always hustling. I always thought about that. Like, as a professional fighter, I just need training, food, and sleep. That's all, you know. And the money's consequence will come to you. You just gotta work for it. When you go through those stuff, you appreciate small things. You know, appreciate the sun. Like, I remember when I moved to Sweden, you know, I come from warm country. And I remember when I moved to Sweden, it was dark and everything. And then when the summer comes, I start to appreciate the summer, you know. And it's a feeling that you're more grateful, you know, for the weather, for the sun and everything. You don't just live your life passing by or, you know, you just stop being conscious when you have a passion for something that you do and you love what you're doing. I think nobody can stop you, you know. What is meant to be, will be, you know. And that's the way life it is. Like, you gotta work for it, you know. You gotta sweat. That's where you're gonna eat from, you know. So
June 2024, Riyadh. UFC debut, short notice against Muhammad Naimov. Hadn't seen his mom in 2 years. The corner uses that. Round 3, he takes the back. Rear naked choke. Submission. Performance of the night.
You know, I want to ask you, Coach lit you up in the middle of that round and told you, do it for your mother. How good does it feel to have that type of performance after getting that message in the corner as you're going to see your mom for the first time in 2 years?
Yeah, in the second round, I was a little bit sleeping, and Coach reminded me, do this for mom because she depends on me back in Brazil. So yeah, he woke me up. I came the third round to give everything, and thank Jesus Christ that I got it. Thank God.
2 more after that, a decision over Miles Johns, then June 2025, UFC 317, Peyton Talbot. That's where it turns. Decision loss, and he re-breaks the right foot.
He went too fast, you know. My first 3 fight in the UFC was like very fast, and I'm like, I didn't have time to digest and everything, so I had a couple of injuries. I need to pull out of the last fight, which was supposed to take place in November in Qatar, and I was forced to pull out of the fight. So
Plan was a quick return. November, Qatar, Daniel Marcos. Body said no.
I went to a dark place, you know. I want to fight and stuff like that, but I need like to process about everything that is happening in my life.
So he goes home, back to Brazil, back to family, back to the start.
I never start training MMA because I want money or something, because I love to be in the cage, love the workout, I love the process, the fight camp, you know. So everything. I believe that the human beings, they have a short memory, you know. They forget stuff very quickly, and when you go through those stuff, you appreciate small things, you know, appreciate the sun. You gotta suffer to appreciate it.
Now he's back in camp, 14-2, and he knows exactly what he wants.
I haven't achieved what I want, but it's on the way, you know, it's a process. You gotta enjoy the journey. 2026, I wanna end the year as a top 10. So now we're gonna go back home, start the camp, and get a fight. Hopefully a good name, and yeah, just climb the mountain, you know, step by step.
Street kid from the Amazon, no electricity, no shoes, hunting wild pigs to eat. Slept on a gym floor for years, won a world title, got knocked down on the biggest stage, went home to put himself back together. He's not done. Not even close.